take a trip across the galaxy and feel the waves of our own energy.
Hello and welcome to the Skip Squad podcast, where we don't care about what you write, we care about what you love. I'm tstaffor.
And I am Luxaiko.
And today we have a very special guest.
And I'm...
He's talking over me immediately. I can't believe it. Ugh. We have Gooday.
Introduce yourselves. Go on.
Hi, I'm Goodnight. Hi.
Okay, now back behind the curtain.
Goodness.
Back behind the curtain. Get back.
Yeah, I'm holding a belt. Please be careful or else I will whip you.
Not again.
It's gonna be okay. In fact, it's gonna be so okay that we've decided to report a podcast right here down in the cellar. So if you hear a little bit of reverb, now you know why.
Yes, all that echo is definitely for the cellar, and not because I'm in a completely empty house.
So today we have Gooday on. Very nice author on the SCP Wiki. Have you had any Wonders Library work?
I have one.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. We don't give a shit about any of that today. Today you are nothing.
Oh.
You are nothing but what you read. And I think we're going to go over a few things that you have read, actually. I believe you've prepared us a list of your favorites.
And we will judge them and see if it's worthy of letting you out.
Yeah.
I thought you asked me to get a list of things I've written. That's what I've got.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, we'll just make up some author names and say some other authors wrote them.
Yeah, just come up with it. Like, I feel like that should work and the audience won't realize.
Yeah, I'll spin a wheel. I'll spin a big wheel.
Yeah, okay, let's begin before they start to get, suspicious.
They were all written by Pepper's Ghost.
Oh, yeah. Go on. Don't be shy. What's the first one?
Today, the first article I've brought in before you, my two very, please don't hurt me. I have brought SCP-2264 in the Court of Alaggada by Metaphysician.
Yeah, good. That sounds like a believable author name.
Did you almost forget the one and only's name?
No, of course not. Never.
The totally real Metaphysician?
The author, that is not me. Metaphysician, yeah.
Obviously. 2264 in the Court of Alaggada. I believe I'm getting that right.
Yeah. It's a really fun article. It's a great world-building piece about this city, kind of in this pocket dimension that you can access through the Tower of London, which is actually a castle, by the way. I don't believe the name. About this city-state called Alaggada. Kind of builds off of articles like 701, I think. The Hanged King's Tragedy.
Alaggada is like the Three Portlands and stuff, right? Because it's like an extra-dimensional area.
A nexus, yeah. It's a really interesting one, too, because as far as I remember, with most nexus, it's a case of magical people living there, but when we look at Alaggada, you will easily find that there is only one clientele, and it's the people who used to live there. So it's a very strict place, you could suggest.
Out of every nexus mentioned on the wiki, I think Alaggada would be the one that would be the absolute worst to live in.
If you ended up spinning a wheel and it chose where you live for the rest of your life and you landed on Alaggada, it's literally a death sentence. There's nothing there.
Nothing there. The sky's all yellow. The stars are black. Everything follows the four colors. Red, white, yellow, and black sometimes.
But the architecture, though, that's a big plus. You'll survive forever because of the architecture.
Yeah, and if you're into non-Euclidean architecture and also Italian, like mid-century Italian.
I love the pictures on this article. I think they really are cool.
Oh, they're gorgeous. I love them. I mean, Meta did a very great job writing this. The entirety of Alaggada has brought in some really good world building through several articles. If you haven't looked through the tag, the Alaggadan tag, I highly recommend it because it's put out some of the best works written for the wiki.
Yeah, I mean, Metaphysician did that, a hat trick. Well, did he do a third one of those? I don't know. But, also the Sarkic town one.
You have added him? Yeah, not only Metaphysician, if you don't know the author of 2264 we're currently discussing, he's really well known for his theme setting. Not only did he create Alaggada, which perhaps you haven't heard of, but he is the creator of Sarcasm and its deep roots. And this guy usually takes a really old article, such as 701 to 2264, and then 610 to the entirety of Sarcasm. But a lot of his stuff involves a town or a place being transpired, which if that doesn't remind you of anything, then maybe I could point towards Mr. Lovecraft.
It is very, I don't want to say Lovecraftian. What's the other word for it?
You have to now.
Oh, God, okay, yeah.
It's out of this world, bro.
It's really eldritch. Another really cool tidbit of Alaggada I really like is that it exists in the same world as Idiotum. And actually, the ambassador, one of the main big characters within Alaggada, was actually sent from Idiotum, just across the sea. Exist across the sea, across the big black sea.
All right, this guy sounds a little crazy to me.
No, you gotta believe me, Alaggada's real.
I think we chose the wrong person in the cellar. I'm looking at my watch and I don't know. Are you sure we can trust this guy? Yeah, Alaggada. I think there's something to say about the inspiration that Metaphysician has had on a lot of things. And it's no surprise that 2264 is at your number one. I have something very similar at my number one, basically, which is 2480, right? Which is basically a Sarkic city. And you'd think that one guy writing something similar twice, 3 times would make it the same, but a lot of people don't know they're by the same guy.
Yeah, they definitely have like a very distinct feel, because that one is more of like from the researcher's perspective, and if I can remember the Alaggadan one correctly, a lot of it is more from the like people living there's perspective.
In the Wandsman, a lot of information is from the Wandsman.
Yeah, a lot of it comes from the Wandsman and D-Class in 2264, and then in the Sarkic City, it comes from the GOC, which arrived there before the Foundation, and they discovered a bunch of logs. So it's technical, but it's different from the SCP sort of technical. It's from a bit more of a destructive, careless point of view. They don't really talk much about how they got to their conclusions. They just have conclusions, and that does make both worlds seem very, very strange from each other. And I couldn't tell you which one is more malicious. Both of them are quite deadly in their own way. I won't get too graphic, then we'd be taken down on YouTube.
If I mentioned half of the stuff that's going on in Alaggada, I'd get your channel taken down like that.
Oh, please do. I think we've had enough already on this podcast. I'm already aging, I'm getting old, and I can't deal with this anymore.
I mean, we ran out of guests so quickly we had to kidnap someone for our second interview.
Yeah.
I'm very scared. Help. Don't believe this section out. Don't do it. Help.
I'm gonna get the belt. I am going to get the belt. You sit down, okay? You sit down. And oh my god, look at this. You have a number 2. Oh, you have another one.
What? You have some more articles. Let's look at those.
Yeah. Go on. Don't be shy.
Say it.
For number 2, I have And So the Crows Laughed by SunnyClockwork. And So the Crows Laughed is a very fun article detailing the origin story for the Hanged King and how he was doing some real messed up stuff. And then the townsfolk of Alaggada got real tired of this. So they, dragged him out to the edge of the city and hung him.
Yeah, like we all wish we could do to our own respective mayors and kings.
Yeah, they hung him. They took his court jester and slammed his face against the wall a couple of times. Not great. Not a great time in the city of Alaggada. And, everyone was doing fine. Some people were going into the royal vault and just taking all the money. And other people were doing other stuff. And then a couple days later, everyone started feeling really sick and just going absolutely insane as the Hanged King basically digs himself out of his grave and walks back through the city, basically turning Alaggada into the city we know now, just this this wasteland of real messed up people doing whatever they want. That's so good.
Entirely inspired by the carnival that happens in Venice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's Alaggada is just filled with so many different motifs that I'm just a huge fan of. Italian architecture, masks, gowns.
Yes, as we are familiar with Italian architecture in which the stairs go upside down, but you can still walk them. When I visited Italy, jeez.
The moon is another really cool part of Alaggada that I enjoy, but I don't think we have enough time to mention the silly moon.
Yeah, the moon's stupid.
There's so much stuff that I really like about this article. Something I have to say with recording this episode is when, Gooday, you gave the list of all of your favorites, I've gotten some of my top 10 articles from you now. So many of these are stuff that I absolutely love, and this one just has so many great things in it. First of all, I want to mention SunnyClockwork is an incredible artist. I didn't actually know that she had written anything before. I thought she had just done art, and so it's really cool to see her writing.
SunnyClockwork has done some actually absolutely amazing writing. Always, all of her writing always usually incorporates her art into the article, and I really like it.
Yeah, there's also something else that you didn't mention was the poem. There's a poem on the right side that is a great companion piece to the article.
Right, yeah. A cool thing about And So the Crows Laughed is it's broken up into two halves. One is a more of what we're used to on the wiki, just straight prose, and on the right is a poem detailing a lot of the same events in a more fluffy, rhymey way, and I really enjoy it. Very storybooky.
And also it has this great world building to it too, when the peasants and stuff in the city are running up to the castle to take the king out to be hanged. The scholars all leave quickly, and so they still live to tell the tale and write stuff like the Hanged King's Tragedy.
Out of all the origin stuff from Alaggada, I really enjoy the origin stuff, And So the Crows Laughed, Goodnight, Miss Moon, all those articles, they're just so good. Chef's kiss.
Well, it's hard not to. Sunny, while a great artist, it was really, strange to see their stuff, in writing. And I honestly thought it was a Metaphysician piece at first. But then I realized that there was something a bit different about the pacing. And I was like, there is someone else. And I saw Sunny and I was like, what? What?
Nobody ever suspects Sunny to be an author, but they are, and they've written some really good stuff. Some absolute bangers, like Tale of Two Bothers, which we don't have enough time to read here today, but that's another good one they've written.
Also, about being an artist, the cat, is it cats? The cat embodiments of all the different SCP characters is some of my favorite art on the wiki.
Bunnies, rabbits.
Bunnies,
bunnies.
The bunny art of all the characters is just the most incredible art page on the wiki.
So good. I would say it's underrated, but Sunny is definitely one of the most well-known artists in the community, and for good reason too. Their art is just amazing.
Sunny is the perfect mix of being just rated.
But yeah, Alaggada is just so cool, all of the time. I've never read a bad Alaggadan piece. There's just been all bangers every single time, no matter what.
Oh goodness me. I do not see this right now. Gooday.
Oh no.
I am looking at your list, and it seems that title is too long. It exceeds all the character limits. We can't talk about that one.
Oh no.
There's too many T's, too. Then to teach 10,000. Ridiculous.
A funny thing is, in your list of favorite articles, you've put a couple SCPs. I think there's four SCPs. And all of them you just listed by their number and didn't even include their title. Your number one is just 2264 instead of In the Court of Alaggada. But this one, you didn't even include the number. You just wrote the title, which I think says a lot about how good the title is.
It is a banger title.
I'm not familiar with this one, so explain on.
Yeah, speaking of bangers, before the host of this podcast bang my skull in, let's move on to SCP. Let's move on to SCP-4012, then to teach 10,000 Stars How Not to Dance by Lordstonefish.
Love Stonefish. Love Stonefish.
It's this absolutely wonderful, surrealistic piece. Kind of shows the Foundation sending this poor D class through this absolutely horrific journey.
I'd say they're not a poor D class. I think they enjoyed it at the end.
Man, oh man, I wish I could pull this article up, but this may date the podcast here in the future, but the wiki's down right now, so I can't pull up the article.
We're still doing terribly, Aiko, on doing any sort of pre-podcast banter, and we had the very, very best possible chance at doing that this week with the wiki being down. We could have been like, hey, Aiko, did you hear about the wiki went down? It would have been incredible. A good, 3 seconds of banter right there that we missed.
I did not hear anything.
That's true.
I'm actually deaf, and I don't know why you have me on this podcast as a co-host, because I have no idea what either of you are saying right now.
And yet her quips are always great whenever she comes in and just yells random things.
Yeah, it's almost a wonder, considering she just says random shit at random moments, and we all seem to think that she can hear us. But yes, do go on. What is this? What does this even mean?
If my memory serves me correctly, because, again, I haven't been able to read it because of the wiki being down.
You heard about this wiki being down? It's crazy.
4012 is like this path. There's a lot of mimetic influences going on. It just messes with your mind, man. It really mess you up. It's crazy. As with most Stonefish articles, this is a very hard one to explain. But it just kind of shows this D-class walking down this path, living his life. He gets a family and a job later on, and he gets a car.
He gets a car. So impressive.
That's really cute.
He goes just through his life with these exponential beings, and then the researcher watching him has a mental breakdown watching this entire thing happen. Just keeps saying that he's sorry over and over and over again. I don't know. Mimetic influence, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's a really great progression because it's a single giant exploration log that starts out with actual dialogue between the D-class and the researcher, and then it shifts to just basically the researcher describing what the D-class is doing to the researcher having a discussion with his description of what the D-class is doing and himself in a really interesting way.
Absolutely brilliant article. I think I would go so far as to say that 4012 is my favorite SCP of all time. The number one.
God, good choice.
And it being number one is exactly why I put it at number 3 on this list here.
Can I ask how this title came to be?
I don't know. Ask Stonefish.
I love the story, but this title is so long and big, and it makes me feel like it's supposed to be a reference, and I don't know the reference.
It has no comparison to printers printing, spiders printing, printers printing, spiders printing, or whatever that one is.
As we all know, then to teach 10,000 Stars how not to dance is, of course, a reference to E.E. Cummings, the E.E. Cummings quote, "I'd rather learn from one bird how to sing than to teach 10,000 stars how not to dance."
So true.
But think about the power you'd have for teaching all these stars not how to not dance.
I feel like that insinuates stars used to dance.
Maybe.
Or you're just teaching them how to cook. So you're not teaching them how to dance.
Or maybe you're just teaching them how to dance badly.
Yeah.
Really badly. You wouldn't even consider it, someone looks at that and they think they're seizing or something, or about to have a supernova or whatever.
That's how supernovas exist, is because a star has learned how not to dance, so it just implodes, because that information is forbidden.
Poor Stonefish, here they are, I should say, my apologies, writing this really meaningful and deep piece, and here we are making fun of the title.
It's not meaning if the title is funny, okay? If the title is funny, then the article is funny, and there's no rule that changes that.
So true, so true.
You understand.
I get it, yeah, I get it.
Good. Now sit down.
I have to sit down. You have me chained to the wall. I can't stand up.
You will never stand up? Never ever again?
I can't stand up. You have me chained to the wall. I cannot get up.
Here, you know what? Since you believe in it so much, we'll let you out into Alaggada when this is over. How about that?
Wait, hey, hold on. Hey.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I'm really disappointed in how little a lot of, I feel like the community ignores titles to SCPs a lot of the time, because they're like some of my favorite parts of an article.
Oh, absolutely.
Some titles are good, but some just confuse me.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish titles would be more included, especially with tales. SCPs, it can be important because it kind of tells you what it's about to be about, but especially with tales, titles are all you really have. Because our tag system is pretty vague when it comes to tales. You never know what you're getting into. This is me begging at staff for genre tags. Please, genre tags. Please, genre tags.
I go after this recording. Let's go into staff chat and start yelling at staff about genre tags.
I'm already working on it.
Hell yeah.
I find title and genre to be the most important part of anything. Because when you're looking at a book, when you're going through a store, the first thing you pay attention to is the price. But we're free. So the second thing you pay attention to is the title and the genre.
Exactly.
It really is unfortunate.
Shout out to the subreddit r/newscp, NUSCP. That's a really great subreddit. It basically is a lot like our podcast. You can't shout out your own work. You can only link stuff other people have made, and it's all like very recent stuff. And their tagging system is great because they actually have tags for like every single different genre. So you can just sort the posts by just sci-fi article recommendations and stuff. And yeah, it's great to have genres.
Another really good thing for genres is the Curated Tales series list, which is this big list on the wiki that features a new tale series every month to be the top of the month, and it also sorts them by genre, like comedy, tearjerker, LGBTQ plus, horror, political drama. No, it's just such a good place to find new tale series to really dive into.
Shout out to that. That's how I found out about S&C Plastics, which is now one of my favorite awesome articles, slice of life article.
I find most of my stuff through another podcast. Through not our podcast specifically. There's also a lot of articles that I've read. Yeah, there's also a lot of articles I've read before that I forgot the names of, and that podcast also reminded me of it. But we'll be seeing the other podcast hosts soon, and you can find out about them now. Or then. Not now.
Of course you won't, because they will be forbidden from talking about it. It is their own work, after all.
Oh my god, you're right. Wait, now's the time to mention it.
Yeah, we'll shout it out now, and then there will be absolutely no mention. You've heard it here first. Our guest will not be allowed to mention their podcast whatsoever, and you'll have no idea that they're from it at all.
You heard it here first. Go watch the better podcast. Stop watching this. Go.
Yeah, so Simply Creative people, they talk a lot about some good stuff. I won't mention the actual people on it, because I hate them both. They're old, and old sucks.
It's the two hosts of some of the creative people are never mind.
Do you want to get to Alaggada early? Do you want to, Gooday?
No. Actually, speaking of tale series, how about we move on to number 4?
Sure, I guess.
Speaking of tale series, next up we have the Friday the Friday Exhibition.
Give some exposition to the Friday Exhibition.
Exactly. It's part of the Cool War series, written by the always fantastic Randomini.
Randomini? What? Randomini?
I call them Randomini. Randomini.
I've always called it Randomini.
What does it matter?
Yeah, I've always heard it as Randomina. I've always read it as Randomini. But then I was on another podcast where he said, actually, it's Randomini. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess.
I gotta say, quickly, it feels like the golden age of SCP podcasts. I could think of like 5 that are currently running right now. It's a great time for SCP podcast listeners.
Everyone's at home because of COVID.
Yeah.
More like SC podcast, am I right?
I'm glad. I would like every single person on the SCP Wiki, every current author, to have a chance at getting onto a podcast. It's my hope that eventually we can get more people on that haven't been on a podcast before, because I think it's a great opportunity. We don't really provide a good one.
The Cool War is, I mean, the entire the the Friday article is has to be one of my favorite bits of the Cool War series, because it really shows off Are We Cool Yet? And like, with how cool they can be, with everyone in the exhibition doing just different wacky things with art, like a crate full of invisible trick spiders.
Yeah, the trapeze art is so impressive, yet you can't even see it.
Exactly.
You just see like a stationary couple poles, and that's it.
Yeah, you just see a little wire tilting a bit.
That seems silly.
It is silly. It's meant to be silly.
It sounds too goofy. This is too goofy. I can't. It's not believable.
Not believable. Well, I mean, we could go into the darker parts of the Cool War and ignore the Friday exhibition if you would like.
Something I want to say, because I do think we should probably talk about all of the Cool War itself, because it is, according to my dad, who I just finished reading all of it to, the best written stuff on the wiki in his opinion. Which I've been reading stuff to him since like 2017, so he knows a lot of stuff on the wiki, and he told me he thinks this is like the most professionally written.
I love how he says it's his favorite thing and then only gives
an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, an 8 out of 10. Yeah.
You must have a hard freaking scale to break, my guy.
Fun fact, the only thing that's ever been a 10 out of 10 to him is, I can't remember the number of it, but it's Sandwich Police.
I'm so glad. But I'm most upset.
Anyway, but the Friday exhibition also feels like a episode of a TV show. Like a season finale. Not a series finale, but a season finale of a TV show, where just everything that's happened comes together in a really great way.
Well, absolutely. See, it's really great. The Friday exhibition is really great because it involves some of my favorite characters, such as Rita Summers and Fudanari Tethor Fiasco. All the characters within that band. It's honestly just great.
Oh, the clone interactions. No spoilers on where they come from, but the clone interactions with the Fudanari Tethor Fiasco band are just really great.
It's absolutely hilarious. They like wear hats and then perform together, even though they were built specifically to quote beat the shit out of their originals.
What's not to love? What is not to love?
That is not to
Kill
love.
everyone. I don't actually. Fun fact: I don't know anything about Cool War. I don't even know what it's about, and I haven't read anything relating to it ever in my entire life.
Cool War is about this funky fellow, Ruiz Duchamp.
I think it's Decamp. Is it Duchamp? Ruiz Duchamp? I thought it was.
Ruiz Duchamp. It's French, you say?
You mean Duchamp?
Yeah, Duchamp.
Oh.
Duchamp. It would be Duchamp, really.
Duchamp. Yeah, that. Who, spoilers, kills himself in the very first tale.
Me too.
Yeah, his art gets called. The person running the show is basically like, hey, this art here, it will literally kill people. Can you not? And he says, actually, I will. And then he goes and then kills himself by freezing himself with liquid nitrogen.
Which, of course, the great title to that exhibition and that tale is Wowie Go Kill Yourself.
I think it was pronounced Wowie Go Kill Yourself.
Wowie? Oh, Wowie Go Kill Yourself.
Exactly.
Oh, there's a great joke. I can't remember which one it is, but someone like goes up to that exhibition and like looks at it and reads out the title, and he's like, "How do you pronounce that?" And then it's like phonetically spelled out like useful. Oh, I know. It's pronounced, and then he just writes out the word. because it's in text. So you don't even know what he's actually saying. It's so good. That's like probably my favorite joke in the whole series.
No, I think my favorite joke from the series is Agent Green basically going, is there anything valuable in here? And the person goes, sir, this is an art gallery. In which he replies, so nothing then. Good to know.
This is new word in. Artists are nothing, and they do not deserve anything.
Yeah.
Their work is not valuable. That's why you should give every piece of artwork to me now.
Yeah, that is the point of Cool War, to give all of your art to Aiko. That is the main point of the series.
I will not make any money.
And Cool War has actually really splintered off into one of my favorite canons on the entire wiki, Cool War 2. Ruiz from Your Grave.
Oh, great. There's the fucking second one.
It's the second one. So it's a very not written for canon with over 100. It's basically, the entire canon is basically a collection of titles that you can just look at, say, I'm going to take that one, and then write for the title. It's a prompt generator, basically.
It started out as just I'm not going to say random, made I think it was like a year after Cool War was finished, on April Fool's.
Yeah, it was an April Fool's joke.
Yeah, they just wrote that whole list just as a tale itself, and it was categorized as a tale, and then it was like, well, if you want to make any of these titles real, feel free to. And so now it's morphed into an actual canon. I think it's been changed from being tagged as a tale to being tagged as a hub.
Yeah, it's a canon hub now. It's awesome. It was actually revitalized mainly by the Canon Renaissance contest, where one of the teams took Cool War 2 and took Ruiz from Your Grave very seriously, where their little arc for that canon was basically this group of artists going to the grave of Ruiz and digging it up and then dragging his corpse around the country to do art stuff.
I can also get around our podcast rules because I did write for this canon, but I have since self-deleted my articles. I did the first 2 parts of Ruiz Charges a Blast of Ki, which is a 6-part series on the canon list, and I wrote 2 of them, but I have since deleted them out of shame.
For that, you are a coward, actually. Fun fact, you're a coward,
I am.
And I will forever hate you for that.
I'm gonna rewrite this sometime.
Yeah, you coward.
I really wish more people would write for Cool War 2, winking at the audience as hard as I can right now.
It was my ploy. I wrote those to befriend you, Gooday, and then I deleted them once I became friends with you. And there's no going backwards from this. You are now forever my friend, even though I've deleted your trust forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't trust you. Just thought I'd let that out there.
It's been really hard to trust you ever since, you came to my house at night and then dragged me into your van.
Oh, that's just ridiculous.
It's been really uncool, though. Since we've gotten you here, all you've tried to do is escape. It makes us really untrustworthy towards you that you even want to be here.
Yeah. And, we chose you.
Yeah, I guess you did choose me. I guess I could stay for at least another hour.
Let's get rid of this guy. It's getting boring.
Wait, hey.
There's not been enough new content in the past couple minutes. I'm getting bored. I yawned.
Why do you guys make this so hard all the time? It's
so fucking hard?
Yeah, it's almost like everything worth doing is so fucking hard. Hey, wait a minute.
What? Whoa, what?
Wait a second.
But checking this list, this doesn't seem to just be a random quip at all.
Now this is one I can get behind.
Yeah, it's...
Go on.
This is one that you can get in.
Yeah, everything worth doing is this really just absolutely amazing tale written by Dark Stuff, kind of detailing the I could take over for me, please help.
You want help? Okay, is this allowed? Is this even allowed?
How dare you?
I'm making it allowed.
Aiko, you've come and kidnapped our guest, and then you're taking over his duty of explaining these. I can't believe you.
You're the one in chains now. You're the one in chains.
Am I the guest? Oh god, everything's changing. too
Aiko, me and
fast.
Gooday need you to tell us your favorites right now, or you're off to Alaggada. Aiko, hurry.
So everything we're doing is so fucking hard. So as mentioned before, it's by the author Dark Stuff, and it was an emotional piece. So it spoke about the author themselves, which I believe is Jasper/Jesper, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And it's kind of like them talking to you, but it's not really you, and it goes through detailing who you might be. And I'm referenced in there. I'm one of the things you could have been, which is why it's so important to me, and I also do the art for it. But it was kind of because the author was going through a hard time and was having trouble putting it into words, but wanted people to see a bit of what it was like and understand that it's normal. So it takes place of you, quote unquote you, going up a mountain and visiting this person in this really strange, cozy place, and they tell you how they feel, and you don't really provide any comfort per se, but you're there to witness it, and it's really emotionally compelling. I think that's why it's on Gooday's list.
It is,
Because
yeah.
who doesn't love that?
Honestly, I feel it's really. I feel hard to say that it's kind of a comfort piece for me, but it kind of is. Because, it just really talks to you, not like you're a reader, but like more of as a friend. It has these really good parts where it just basically tells you, hey, let's take a minute and just have a little breathing exercise, shall we?
Yeah, so the point is that Gooday's lonely as shit and needs an article to comfort him because he has nothing else.
You see, this is why I need an article, because one of my best friends is basically tells me that I'm stupid 24/7. It's great.
You're so welcome. And then you find comfort in the article that references me in your position instead, and also has my art. You just can't escape me.
I can't, no.
I am everywhere, Gooday. I am everywhere, and you will never escape, ever. Nor will any of you at home, the listener, sitting in that chair right now, listening to this podcast, wondering, when's it gonna be over? It's not gonna be over. It's not, and I am on my way to your location. Check the description, your coordinates are there.
Check the timestamp of this video. Yes, you're less than 1% way through. What? This is a 100-hour podcast?
What? God. Oh,
You're not going anywhere anytime soon. Your feet, they're chained to the floor. Your arms, they're gone.
you're just gone.
That's the way I describe this is kind of like how the tale goes. It goes up in mood and it goes back down, and there's kind of intense parts, but they're not really like upsetting tense. They're more like it really does feel like you're talking to someone about how they feel, except you can't actually give any input. So you can't say yes or no, and when they suggest something, you can't say no, and it kind of makes your heart go a little,
It's like a therapy session in like 1,000 words. It's 1,000-word therapy session. That's what it is. And it's awesome. I actually try and make it a point to read and everything worth doing at least once a day, because I just love it so much. It's so good.
Yeah, I think I've read it like 5 times over since you showed it to me. There's something so calming about it. It's definitely one of the closest I've gotten to tears reading an SCP before, or a tale, or just something on the wiki.
First time I read it, you're stronger than me, tstaffor. I broke down. And I probably will once the wiki is up. I will probably break down again once the wiki is up and I read it.
I'm glad they died.
I'm sorry?
I'm glad they died.
See, like we said, she's deaf, so she's just gonna say random things sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad the dragons are dead.
No, not the dragons.
When I said before that some of the stuff on this list has shot up to like my top 10, this is one of those that I was talking about. This is just such an incredible piece. There's a couple things I just have to mention about it. The first is the way it's written is so well done. A lot of times when I'm critiquing articles, a big thing that I feel like a lot of people really mess up is changing the perspective in a bad way, in an awkward way. Like they'll say like, you're climbing up the mountain and then he got to the top and stuff like that. But this does that so intentionally where it really switches from talking from a storyteller's perspective of talking about what you're doing to an author's perspective talking to you. It's so smooth a transition, you just don't even notice it.
Exactly.
In an incredible way.
No, it really goes from talking to you as a character and you as a reader, and as the narrator being a character and the author. Just, so good.
I got chills when you get to the top of the mountain and you knock on that door, and then it says, "And I'm quickly slipping on my shoes to run to greet you at the door." And that was just like such a great line. There's a lot of talk about great ending one-liners, but that is an incredible halfway through switcheroo liner.
And you can kind of imagine that it's like you're being read a story by someone, or someone is trying to retell a series of events, and it just keeps switching, but in a way, like, rather than just directly putting you in the character's shoes, and it instead being a story that is being told by a character in a story, it just makes it feel a lot more real because there's actual layers to it, much like you would have in real life.
Absolutely.
Non-direct storytelling.
There's some great melancholy laugh moments too, like where like the storyteller is fumbling over their words to like describe the place to you. They're like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I should mention the room you're in now. It's got a fireplace and the kitchen can be seen from this room," or whatever. And it's really great in that aspect too, of there's still some comedy fit in it.
Exactly, and another thing that really adds to the tale is the poorly drawn piece at the bottom of the page. It really just adds to the whole
This terribly drawn piece.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Don't say I don't know who the artist is, but maybe they listen to this podcast. Maybe they will be on this podcast.
No, they've never
Maybe
listened to this podcast.
Like
They don't support creating it at all. They just dump it on me to create
I'm kidding. I'm
the whole
kidding. The
thing.
piece is actually really well drawn, and it's drawn by Aiko.
I already have the belt in my hand and I'm running.
I finished reading this and I sent the picture to Aiko and I was like, "Hey, this looks a lot like your work."
Yeah, no, I don't recognize it, actually. It doesn't look anything like my art. For the viewers, for the audio listeners, which love you to death, the drawing is of the narrator, in a way, sitting at a table with a cup of tea, because throughout the story they describe making tea for you. And I was asked directly by the author to draw that for them. Though it's kind of an exchange, because they owe me something now. They owe me something good. And I'm super excited.
Getting owed something from Dark Stuff is incredible, because Dark Stuff is incredible.
Here, let me whisper it to you guys, because Dark Stuff probably doesn't watch this podcast. Dark Stuff has to write a Dr. Wondertainment piece for me as Dr. Aiko Laura Wondertainment.
Yes.
So now my series, when it becomes real, is gonna have the big Wondertainer behind it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know, that's why I love drawing. Get your favors in, kids. Become an artist and you'll have everything at your fingertips.
Yeah, Aiko being mentioned in the story wasn't enough. She needs more.
Which wasn't, I didn't even ask for that. They reached out to me and told me that I was in it. For those who haven't read the piece, there's a line that discusses a girl from Canada, Ontario, who has bad eyesight and no one cares to fix it or something like that. There was a time where I went through a court case because I couldn't get my glasses, and my doctor was like, we couldn't pay for it essentially because it wasn't going to be covered by medical things, but we wanted to pay for it. But no matter what, we weren't allowed to pay for it out of pocket, but we couldn't use the coverage because of the court case. So I just couldn't see. And I had an eye disease and it was like really bad. And we had to like figure something out. And Dark Stuff was like really upset with me at the time about it. But update, I have my glasses and my eyes are fixed, kind of.
Sorry, upset for you, right? Not upset with you.
Upset for and with.
Oh, okay.
They were upset with me. I was sad about it, and they were sad too. And we were together.
I thought you meant they got like annoyed with you about not getting glasses.
Oh, no, I was referencing as in, like, they were upset as well. You know, we were together in our upsetness.
How could you not have gotten glasses, Aiko?
They were upset with me for not having good eyes and losing my vision terribly, and it was a tragedy.
An absolute tragedy. It's honestly so sad that it happened.
Well, you know what time it is. It's time to see if tstaffor remembers the song she made not yesterday. 2 weeks ago. I won't. Where? No, it's just that, right? Where did you come from? Where did you go? What's your experience with this SCP Wiki? And what's the first article you read? That's not the same thing, but whatever.
I'm going to pretend that any of that made sense.
Yeah, no, every time we say don't do that bit, and it just keeps happening. It just keeps happening.
I will make it a bit. You mark my words. You will rue the day you ever said that wasn't a good bit.
I want this bit to end. I want this bit to end. Someone call the Scip Squad pod police.
The only way we'll get this bit to end is by burning it down
and answering it. So essentially, what what we were trying to say was, what was the first article you read?
Yeah, so basically, just in my words, kind of to reiterate what Aiko was saying, the main thing that we wanted to know is just where had you come from and where did you go? What's your experience with the SCP Wiki and what's the first article you read?
Okay, well, first off, tstaffor, I'm going to have to set you down and teach you how to write poetry. But then, second of all, the first article I ever read was SCP-111, Dragon Snails by Dr. Warren. Dragon Snails? It's Dragon Snails, SCP-111.
Did you I thought, when you said bye, I thought you were going to tell me the author. And when you started saying Dr. Wondertainment, I totally did too.
It's like Wondertainment wrote this article? It was a collabo with the SCP Wiki and Dr. Wondertainment?
I actually can't remember who wrote it. We'll put in the descriptions, you lovely, lovely description readers. But yeah, SCP-111 is this really nice Dr. Wondertainment piece. Showing off these little critters called dragon snails, and they're really cute. I love them.
Well, I hate dragon snails.
Yeah, they're boring. Next one. We're done.
How could the Dr. Wondertainment hate dragon snails?
Well, I didn't create those. That's from the... See, there's a multiverse, and I'm from another one, and I hate everything good in life.
I say.
I have a shameful admittance. I've never read Dragon Snails.
Gasp.
I know the gist. They're little dragons that are in the shape of snails, and they breathe fire or whatever.
Yeah, and that's the same experience you'd get from reading the article. It's nothing big. It's nothing spectacular. It's series 1. They're little snails, and they breathe fire. That's it. That's the entire article.
And they kill people by burning them to death, and they love it, and they love killing people. They love it.
You know what I have done, though? Is I've looked through so much art of them. Because I think something that Series 1 was really great at is just art bait. And dragon snails are totally art bait. They're really good for people to make art of.
Exactly. tstaffor, flash some images of dragon snails on screen now.
No way.
tstaffor doesn't know what images are.
I literally just edit this in audio form and go to a website called MP3 to MP4 converter and just put the thumbnail on the video, and then that's the static image for the whole hour.
Here, pop, pop, pop. Every time I say pop.
You overestimate my power.
Every time I say pop, there's a new image on screen. Pop, 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 pop. Look at that.
There is no image on screen. There's none. Use your imagination.
You know what I'm gonna do? I don't know if I can do this. I'm gonna have to try and see if there's CC or something, but I'm just gonna have the entire thumbnail covered on each side by like 5 dragon snails.
Yeah. No, actually, dragon snails recently got a new image, which has dragon snails that are actually CC, BYSA 3.0 compliant.
Sweet.
Pause. I need to go to the bathroom really fucking bad. Give me a sec.
Okay.
I was waiting for a good time to say pause. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
There's never a good time. We're just too
Okay.
chaotic. We're just going.
I'll be right back.
It's okay. I'm. Gee willikers.
Welcome to the new segment. This is our official new segment, tstaffor, one-on-one time with guests.
We're not doing that.
Where we make small talk. You see the weather today? It's probably different where you are because we're across the countries. Is it? Do you think the weather is the same as mine?
I can't tell if this is a bit and this is actually going into the episode or not.
Oh, this is 100% going in the episode, baby.
No, it's not, actually.
Unless you say some really incriminating stuff, then I'll get rid of it.
157.352.9835.
Oh no, Gooday just said something really, really bad. I had to beep it for you guys.
Pretend I say a slur. Pretend I said a slur.
Beep. There's a slur. Oh no. Gooday said the worst one. You know the worst one? Whatever that is.
I'm back.
Phew.
Hi, Nico.
I can't wait to look at the analytics of this video and see the very, very big, like 10% drop off of viewer rates at the whatever minute mark this is.
I really hope I'm doing good at this whole podcast thing.
You're doing great.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, this has been going great.
I just want to make sure I'm being a good guest. Smile.
Okay, I don't know where this cut happened. I think when whoever that was came in your room, because definitely not the bathroom stuff. That's left in.
No, it's not.
It was comedy gold.
It
was
was
comedy
not-
gold. You can't
it
stop
was
me.
not- it was not funny
I'm
at
the
all.
editor. You can't stop me. You have no
and-
power over me. I'm going power hungry on the episode 3.
All right, and resume. So, our lovely, lovely listeners. Next up, we have SCP-2815, Tree of Life by DeadlyBread.
So this is the one thing on your list that I read and seriously did not enjoy. So I want you to sell me on this. What makes this great? Because I'm very interested to hear.
If you will give me a second, so I can pull up the villains.fandom.com/wiki/sarcasm page. 2815 is this little Sarkic village in Hungary. Hungary? Can you tell I'm American?
Can you tell he's USA?
Yeah, it's this Sarkic village based in Hungary, where the people in it, the -1s, are kind of these flesh magic. This flesh magic, and they practice magic right. Basically, the form of Sarkicism they provide is a mixture of paganism and Hungarian paganism and neo-paganism. Although they often masquerade themselves as Roman Catholics. Wink, wink. They form a portal to a datum. It's Sarkicism, baby. Let's go. Sarkicism, one of the best GOs.
It's sarcasm, baby.
Sarkicism.
Yeah.
Honestly,
sarcasm.
yeah, definitely top 10, top 5 even, GOIs. Sarkicism is just so fun. Bringing it back to Metaphysician, Sarkicism is one of those GOIs that I find are very misconstrued and mischaracterized within a lot of stuff they're written. Because, fun fact, they don't worship Yaldabaoth. They hate Yaldabaoth. They go, whenever they see Yaldabaoth, they go grrr. You know what I'm saying?
They're definitely one of those GOIs that's really fallen victim to they're evil and they're the bad guy.
And the Foundation is good, and the Church of the Broken God is the good guys, actually. Yeah, but 2815 is this really good world-building piece for Sarkicism, and it's just fun. Not much to say, it's just fun. It gives us... Like, there's a flag in that article somewhere. It's awesome. I just love... If you couldn't tell from my ranting of 2264 in the Court of Alaggada, I just love world building to death, and 2815 really scratches that itch for me, especially on Sarkicism. It's just great.
You're kind of a character builder, which means that like a lot of world building authors are a really good match for you. And I've noticed that most of your things here world build more than they character build, for the most part. I think it's a good sign, because I bet most of these you look at and your first thought is probably, what would I do, or what would a character I make do here?
Exactly.
Yeah, I knew it. And I'm the same. I'm the exact same. I love nothing more than adding my own characters into stuff.
That's the case with a lot of my favorite things on the wiki. 3 Portlands, Urtek, Alaggada, Leroy Macabre, 2815. There's all those places. I want to, just make a little character and then drop them there. I want to watch them run around and see how they interact with all the other people. You know what I mean? It's just so fun. I love world building. I love worlds, baby. Let's go. I love worlds.
There's something to be said for this article, in a way, it's very, very reminiscent of Then Teach 10,000 Stars Not to Dance and In the Court of Alaggada, where it is a lot of world building. But they actually do it in the SCP part, which I really respect. There's, there's dash nothing to dash 4 or something.
-5, I think.
Yeah, -5. And each of those are distinct and unique things that do different things, and all of that is set up just in containment procedures and description, not just like extra notes and extra tabs that are like exploration logs or anything. It's all actually already researched, already put into writing stuff.
Precisely.
I just noticed something. Oh no, guys. It's going to be impossible. We won't be able to do the 100-hour-long podcast because I only have 12 hours of disk space remaining.
What? No!
I'm sorry. It turns out this is probably only going to be an hour.
So yeah, that's why 2815, just an amazing world-building piece. Speaking of world-building pieces, another thing that's really good for world-building is GOI formats.
Very true. I don't read many of them.
Boom! Boom, listeners! We've tricked you. You thought there were 2 types of articles. You thought there were tales, and you thought there were SCPs. But no, we've been hiding a secret 3rd type of article from you this whole time. You've been bamboozled. You've been tricked. You've been backstabbed. There's also GOI formats. Anyway, what's this one?
Here we have, see, the fun thing about GOI formats is half of them are really hard to read out loud.
Half of them are like 15 letters and numbers, and then one single word.
Here we have SMR82/H0EX3/4DNV9, also known as Smart Hex by Dr. Chandra. Chandra?
I say Chandra, personally.
Dr. Chandra. It's this really cool piece based around my 3rd favorite GOI, known as Marshall Carter and Dark, LLC, or LTD, depending on who you ask. But Smart Hex itself is basically about the titular Marshall Carter and Dark doing deals with devils. Because, making deals with devils is such a pain. Like, rich people, they don't want to have to, actually go through the work for it, right? So why not just, as everything in this modern age, digitalize it? Just digitalize doing the devil deals, and that's what they do. And, basically, the demons get mad at them and decide to send 666 demons to their location to, murder them.
Why would it take that many?
Because demons, and also Marshall Carter and Dark, are awesome.
They're not going to send 665. That doesn't sound as cool.
I guess. I was thinking more 555.
Oh, that could be cool too, yeah. Actually, I think originally they're supposed to send like 10,000 demons, but they just didn't have enough, so they only sent 666. And then basically the main meat of the story is Marshall Carter and Dark defending their storehouse by fighting. I think Iris Dark, she kind of like stays up in the crow's nest and snipes the demons, and Marshall and Carter...
No, Carter is the one who does that, I think.
Right, yeah, Carter's the sniper.
And then Marshall is the, brands them with holy symbols, and Iris, I can't remember what she does.
Yeah, Marshall just runs in with, and just brands demons, and they go, and then pop.
That's the best Foley work we've ever had on this podcast.
What a great explanation.
They go, ugh. Is this the one that has that, informant from the demon side who just, speaks in all caps or whatever, I think?
That's character trait talking in all caps. He's a really funny, wacky guy, that demon. As most demons are.
Yeah, the whole SCP Wiki has a great kind of gimmick of demons. They use demons in a great way. Like, S&C Plastics has Krampus be just this cool dude who helps them out to stop Santa or something, I think, in the Christmas one. There's all of Rounderhouse's stuff on Las Vegas being a place for demons.
It's actually Under Vegas, you fool.
Under Vegas, whatever. You're the fool. You're under our house. So there you go.
You're right, I am.
And then also, I can't even remember what this article is at all, but there is one where they mess up summoning a demon, and so they summon the demon's younger cousin or something who's just pretty nice but still messes up the wishes of people.
It's awesome.
But unintentionally. There's some great demon content on the wiki.
Yeah, Yeah.
Absolutely. I also love Marshall Carter in Dark. There's love.
Marshall the Current Dark, it definitely earns its spot at my third favorite GOI. It's so good.
The aesthetics are so good. Also, speaking of, you've mentioned your fifth and third, or just one that was in top 5. What is your number 1 GOI?
That would be, of course, Wilson's Wildlife Solution.
Oh, I would have thought, are we cool yet?
Well, what? No, they're like, why would I care about that?
Are We Cool Yet is okay, but they're not great. I don't really enjoy Are We Cool Yet as a GOI. Like, they're cool, but they haven't done anything significant or even cool enough to put them... And that's not even, like, a meme. Like, that's just, like, you know...
Yeah, to be fair, like, the Cool War is probably, like, my favorite thing from Are We Cool Yet? But in general, their concept is not as great.
If I'm being completely honest, the only reason Are We Cool Yet is in my top 10 is because of the Cool War and Cool War 2. That's the only thing I was going for it.
Wilson's Wildlife definitely deserves that number 1.
Also, as we are recording, Wikidot is back online.
Yo, wait, really?
Just thought I'd inform them.
This is a historic moment, recorded live.
To maybe kind of wrap this up, to not leave the readers wondering.
Not to say, like, not to be, like, dramatic or anything, but I think I have a place to go now. You see, it's totally not because of Wikidot.
Yeah, no, we have to end this right now. It's not because I've been starved for any Wikidot stuff for 4 days. No. It's just, this is a great place to wrap up. Okay, bye. Get out. You can go to Alaggada now. You're free from our basement.
Before we leave, my top 5 GOIs are Oneroy, Wondertainment, MCD, Sarcasm, and Wilson's Wildlife.
Ooh, Oneroy.
That reminds me, I think we have something to say.
So as we say at the end of every episode...
Kill your parents.
Nice. Good night, everyone.
Yep, that's what we say. Goodbye.
Bye. Help me. Actually, help me. Wait.
That was horrible. I didn't record any of it.